Well, good morning. This is Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. It is Monday, September 16th. We're still monitoring potential tropical cyclone number 8. It is not showing signs of becoming tropical. The Air Force Hurricane Hunters that have been flying through the storm earlier this morning did find a temperature difference between the southern part of the system and the northern part, indicating that the frontal boundary is leaving, but it's not really given up all its influence on the system. So technically, it's not a tropical storm yet, although winds have been clocked around 50 miles an hour in parts of the system. You can see if we widen out, this is the satellite picture. Just want to point out here is potential tropical cyclone number 8, very close to the coastline, probably about 6 to 12 hours from making its way onshore, which makes it even less likely that it will gain tropical characteristics and be named Tropical Storm Helene. That's what it would be. Tropical Storm Gordon is way out here in the Atlantic, right on the edge. You can see it here, a little bit of the spin. It's going between a tropical system, a tropical storm, and a tropical depression. May come back to a tropical storm. We'll be monitoring that. It's way out in the ocean, just impacting ship navigation. But you can see this frontal system that extends all the way around this low pressure system and goes up, just southwest of Greenland. That's where this system has spun off from. It's detaching from that frontal boundary. But needless to say, the impacts are happening. I'm going to switch over to local 1 minute high resolution satellite imagery of this system. Here's the coastline of North Carolina. As a matter of fact, let me make the boundaries black here so you can see them a little bit easier. This is Wilmington, North Carolina. You can see somewhat of a spin in here. It's not very clear. It's kind of a broad area of low pressure. But the bottom line is Wilmington, North Carolina has been taking it on the chin with very heavy, intense rainfall. They've seen anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rain in southeast Brunswick County. That is something that shows up on the radar as well, and I'll show you that too. Here is the radar data. I'll put that into motion so you can see what it looks like. This area that's moving inland here is very intense rainfall, 2 to 3 inches of rain per hour, creating localized flooding. So if you're responding, emergency responders, if your emergency management preparing to respond to these areas, be very cautious of any water over the roadways. It could be washed out. Water will keep a level view and you think it's a road, and when you drive into it, it could be very dangerous and the road could be gone. That's when you find vehicles really in big trouble. But you can see, generally speaking, this moderate to heavy rain is moving inland over North Carolina. South Carolina, you still have a tropical storm warning in effect around the Charleston area, all the way north to the border. And then in North Carolina, a tropical storm warning is in effect, from Santee River, South Carolina, all the way to Oregon Inlet in North Carolina. So that's because the winds, the strongest winds are to the north of this system, and they are pushing inland. So we do have wave heights between 9 and 15 feet. Some of the waves are that high, crashing into the shore, breaking just offshore, but coming in. So we'll see some localized, perhaps breaching of some dunes where the ocean goes into some of the roadways, but also the persistent southeasterly wind pushing in will cause peak storm surges of 1 to 3 feet along the coastline and into the Pamlico River, Pamlico Sound as well, up into the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So definitely not a nice day there. I'm going to switch over here to the satellite loop, and I'm going to look at that full screen here. I will go over to the satellite picture so I can just show you what's going on. Just in this part of South Carolina, they're going to be under the gun for flooding rains during the day today. There could be wind gusts to tropical storm force, which are 39 to 74 miles per hour. Right now, the storm is 50 mile an hour winds, so we could have some impact, localized impact of trees and branches down and perhaps some local power outages there. We're monitoring that as well. But after the storm comes inland, it looks like it's going to dissipate. I'm going to go to GeoCollaborate here, full screen, and you can see the National Hurricane Center's forecast. This is the area of tropical storm winds likelihood. So you can see how it's kind of elongated there, no real center, but you can see the cone right here. Here is the probability that the center of storm will move in this area. It's about 2/3 or 66% chance the center will move here. But then look, it's forecast to dissipate from a tropical depression just to an area low pressure system. There is a strong high to the north, which is causing winds to come in off the ocean. Hence, there is a coastal flood advisory in many of these areas along the coastline. I will turn off here for a moment. I'll turn off the cone from the National Weather Service for the hurricanes. So I'll turn that off just so you can see the radar data. And there was also a report of a waterspout, a tornado that came across Bald Head Island in North Carolina, and it was caught on video there as well. But I do want to display for you the impacts inland and what are the impacts expected. So here we go. This is from the National Weather Service. These are inland impacts in North Carolina. And you can see here it's moderate rainfall flooding may prompt several evacuations and rescues in this orange area. This yellow area indicates some potential localized flooding from heavy rain. Wind shouldn't be a big impact. But as this system moves ashore, it's looking less likely that it will become a tropical storm, but we'll be monitoring it all day today, that it will dissipate over North Carolina, but it will still be impacting southern Virginia as well. So as these impacts get considered during the day today, I'm going to turn them off and turn on the Weather Prediction Center 3-day excessive rainfall outlook from the Weather Prediction Center. Let me go over here and turn that on from that layer in the Weather Prediction Center. So here is the 3-day area that could experience flooding. And so you can look at this as a probability of flooding. You can see in the red area here, and there are flood warnings going on around the Wilmington area right now. But this is the area that could see a high probability of flooding today. Then it branches out to more localized flooding in North Carolina, even out towards Asheville, could see some heavy rain causing some localized flooding. And then it gets less likely as you move further north. Now, this is a 3-day outlook. So some of this moisture will make it up into the mid-Atlantic, into Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, where we could see some heavy, brief heavy rain showers that could cause some localized flooding there as well. So that's the way it looks right now. This has been an update for potential tropical cyclone number 8. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications. This is an update for the All Hazards Consortium Sensitive Information Sharing Environment. So we can share this information with private sector liaisons in emergency operations centers in states across the country. And they can coordinate with private sector owner operators so they can provide more information to them to keep the economy moving forward and to get power restored quickly. So we'll give you another update if conditions warrant this afternoon. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. Thanks so much for watching this update.